This is Peking University. I took line 4 here. Came out the northwest exit. I'm gonna walk over to the museum, the Sackler. If I understand it, it's over here. Tomb of Mr. Edgar Snow I should pass by if I walk along the lake here. Wyoming Lake. I'm surprised they don't have the museum here. There's a bell pavilion. Why don't they show the museum? How odd. Since if you were a visitor, that's probably what you came to see. The guidebooks tell you to enter through the west gate of the campus, which is a bit silly since the subway is over here. I can't imagine. Looks like they have a stone boat over there. Can't imagine why anybody would ever enter from the west gate unless they were coming out of Yuanming Yuan, the old summer palace. Maybe if they walked across to the west side of it and came out the west exit there and walked down or took a bus down, which I thought I might do yesterday, Monday, but it was such a nice day and I knew it would rain today, so I kept walking in the park. There's a lot to see at Yuanming Yuan, which is one more stop from here. I did that yesterday for the whole day. The ruins, it's very odd to see Western style ruins in China. I think they're maybe the only ones that you'll come across of that nature. During the Qing in the early 1700s, they built Baroque style Western palaces there. Qing contracted with Jesuit missionaries. And then, of course, the Second Opium War, the old imperial palace, the old summer palace, which was then just the summer palace, was burned. I don't know when the new summer palace was constructed exactly, but I assume that it was damaged during the Boxer Rebellion in 1900. They both were, the old and new summer palaces. The new summer palace, or just summer palace, is a little further from here, more west, like 2 or 3 stops on line 4, which I'd like to do before I leave. So I'm hoping I have some good weather, but it doesn't really look like I will. I always feel like I squander my good weather days when I'm traveling to a new city for the first time, because it may be a nice day, but if you're not that familiar with the city and you're still trying to explore all the museums, it can be very difficult to say, oh, I'm going to go off and see the Ming tombs today in the north of Beijing and take a train, and you still haven't done like the National Museum, you know. That's probably what you should do, what you certainly should do if you have like 3 days here. But if you're here for a month, you say to yourself, well, you know, I have 3 more weeks to do that, and I'd really like to have a primer before I do something so far afield. I did run off and do the Great Wall on a clear day, and I wasn't really worried because it was like a 3-hour bus ride there, which was basically just enough time to do all the reading I had on the Great Wall, so that by the time I got there, I didn't feel like an idiot. Plus, it was a guided tour through my hostel, so it was like pretty idiot-proof. Just wait outside in the morning, and the tour guide comes, picks you up. It was a bit expensive, like, what, $30, but to get bussed up to Hebei province, you know, not so bad. When I did go to the Ming tombs, though, later, on a fair day, not a great day, I took the train myself, and it cost me, I don't know, $1 American. Ugh. This looks like some of the ceremonial urns they had in front of some of the stuff at the Ming tombs. Maybe this is Edgar Snow's grave. There's no literature, which is odd. I think they would have something saying whose grave it was. No. Possibly, but not. I spent a lot more time at the Paleozoological Museum than I thought I would, next to the planetarium. The planetarium's closed on Tuesday, so that kind of screwed my plan up, since it was like 1:30. I was done at the Zoological Museum, and I thought I would have done the planetarium in the afternoon, but it's closed on Monday and Tuesday, so I'll have to go back and do it tomorrow, which is fine because one stop to National Library. I can do a couple temples and a park and an art museum around there, and the 2 temples are free on Wednesday for the first 200 people, so I'll save 40 yuan by doing that, so not so bad. But it is kind of a time waste to travel this far in the middle of the day. I should have a couple hours before they close at the Sackler Museum. I have to record this in my native app of my iPhone because I updated to iOS 8 this morning, and the native app should put me out right by the museum. The third-party app I use, which is called, no, I kind of want to go that way. The third-party native app, which is called Video Camera Plus, with like a plus sign, reduces the quality to 720, which makes the file size manageable. The downside is if you want to record something and zoom in and out, you can't do it, at least in the current version of Video Manager Plus, even if you're using it on an iPhone 5S that has the zoom in the native app. So you lose that functionality. Theoretically, if you're only shooting like an hour video a day, you could zoom in and out like I am on or shoot it in the native app like I am now, and then reduce it when you get home, reduce the file size. But if you shoot 8 hours of video a day, it's impossible. You would run out of room on the phone, number one, and number two, the file sizes would be so big. It'd take you 2 hours to get them off the phone, and opening and manipulating them would be like a nightmare. They'd be so big. If you shoot an hour-long video, it would be like 7 gigabytes. Can you imagine? I think this is the museum here. I hope it's open. I hope I didn't fucking venture up here and it's closed on Monday and Tuesday or something ridiculous. Said it was open in the guidebook. I think this is it. Boguan. We'll find out. Looks like the picture. I'm not sure.